Breaking news: Leafs has just been revealed, taking everyone by surprise. Our journalists have managed to obtain this valuable information. However, before we discuss the details of the news, I kindly ask you to subscribe to the channel, aiming to soon surpass the number of subscribers of Canadians. With everyone's cooperation, we aim to become the leading news channel. The Toronto Maple Leafs kicked off their 2023-2024 regular season in a thrilling manner on Wednesday night, securing a 6-5 shootout triumph against their long-standing rivals, the Montreal Canadiens. This game offered just a glimpse of what lies ahead until April, yet it's never too early to draw some confident insights for the future. Foremost, Auston Matthews, the sharpshooting virtuoso of the Toronto Maple Leafs, notched a hat trick, signifying a return to his illustrious Rocket Richard-winning form. It's evident that he's poised to lead the NHL in goal-scoring once again. The big questions now are whether Matthews can reach the 60-goal mark, or even dare to dream of 70 goals this season. We take a brief break from this news broadcast to bring you a relevant announcement. We want to point out that if you want to continue receiving the latest related news via YouTube suggestions, it is imperative that you leave your support by clicking the like button on this video. Thank you for your collaboration. Now, let's continue with the news coverage. Although the game itself might not have been filled with physicality, the ice surface appeared treacherous. TJ Brodie experienced an uncharacteristic stumble akin to a novice skater, resulting in a breakaway goal for the Canadiens. Timothy Liljegren's mishandled pass contributed to another Montreal goal, and Morgan really lost his footing, sliding awkwardly into the boards. It's imperative for the Leafs to refocus on the fundamentals, or they risk facing dire consequences, perhaps even more dire than nearly succumbing to an ostensibly weaker Montreal team, despite outshooting them 42-24. Ilya Samsonov, the Leafs goaltender, allowed 5 goals on 24 shots, equating to a modest .79 to save percentage, statistics sourced from NHL.com. While it's fair to assert that none of the goals were entirely his fault, a string of subpar performances could dent anyone's confidence. Simply halting the shots considered routine isn't sufficient for a team with a win-now mentality. Toronto demands its goalkeepers to thwart their fair share of ostensibly inevitable goals. Perhaps it's time to consider the services of Mr. Joseph Woll. Now, about the newcomers, Matthew Knies picked up where he left off last season, displaying the poise and confidence of a seasoned veteran. Fraser Minton continued to impress with his speed and intelligence, making a strong case for remaining with the Leafs roster beyond the initial 9 games. However, concerns arise in relation to the experienced players. TJ Brodie seemed to show signs of aging, while Mark Giordano, the lone NHL player to celebrate his 40th birthday, undoubtedly demonstrates his age. Although both players fared well during 5v5 minutes, things took a different turn when John Klingberg and Jake McCabe shared the ice with Montreal. Notably, Klingberg had a noteworthy performance on the power play, earning a pair of assists and contributing to a 2-for-4 power play success rate. Anticipate a promising season from him. The infusion of grit into the Leafs lineup produced a rather unremarkable debut. Ryan Reeves, signed to a 3-year deal, engaged in a pre-game tussle with Arber Xhekaj, but ended up on the losing end. Nonetheless, he played a serviceable fourth-line game. Max Domi, in comparison to his father's reputation, caused considerably less mayhem, while Tyler Bertuzzi's performance resembled that of Michael Bunting in his final days with Toronto, culminating in a costly penalty that promptly resulted in a Montreal power play goal. It's back to Home Depot for Mr. Treliving, but the sandpaper acquired this time seemed more suited for finishing finesse rather than the gritty abrasiveness desired. Captain John Tavares, with 3 assists, made notable contributions despite his line's 5v5 shortcomings. Expect him to tally another 80 points this season while enduring the familiar refrain that he has lost a step and is past his prime. Last but not least, the Toronto Maple Leafs introduced their new goal celebration song. After Noah Gregor, a newcomer, notched Toronto's first goal of the season, ears strained to identify the tune. While it may have sounded somewhat familiar, many struggled to place it. It turns out that the song was Kid Cudi's Pursuit of Happiness, specifically the Steve Aoki remix, an explanation for the initial difficulty in recognizing the melody.